There are 4 different meeting modes that you can choose from, and you can select these as a default within your settings, and you can also change them during the meeting as well. So, over in your settings, if you look in the left hand column, you'll see an option for meeting modes here, and this will take you into this screen. The first option then is conversation and collaboration mode. This is probably likely what you would normally associate with a regular online meeting on an online meetings platform. So here you can see we've got some presets. All participants can be heard. They can join the meeting. They can unmute themselves. They'll also have full access to activate their webcam, share their screen, upload and download a document, present a document, and use the whiteboard and animation tools, and finally use text chat. So basically, everybody's got more or less the same of options there in terms of what they can do during the meeting. Next up then, we've got the Q&A and classroom mode. So here, some of the participants are going to be slightly more restricted in what they can do. So for this, all of the participants can join the meeting and are muted as a default when they join. However, they can unmute themselves. All participants have full access to activate their webcam and raise their hand. However, only moderators will have the option to share their screen, to upload and download and delete a document, present or navigate through a document, and use the whiteboard or text chat. So as you can see, a few more restrictions there, and this is intended more for, as it says, a Q&A or a classroom mode. Next up, then, there is something which you might consider as more like a traditional webinar. So in this case, the waiting room is going to be activated as a default. All participants will join the meeting muted, and they cannot unmute themselves during the meeting at all. The name and announcement chimes are turned off so that as people are coming in and out, there are no disruptions from that. And only moderators will be able to activate their webcam, share their screen, and perform all of these other tasks in here. So it's specifically intended just for a single direction webinar mode. Next up is focus mode, and this one means that all participants can join the meeting, but they're muted by default and they cannot mute themselves, just as with the presentation mode. However, they can activate their webcam, raise their hand, and so on, and all other options then are the same as the webinar mode. Now, one thing to note about this is that whilst you can set these as presets for all of your meetings, and indeed when you're scheduling a meeting, you can choose which one of these meeting modes you would like to use, it is worth noting that you can actually change modes during the meeting, which is great because it means you might want to start off in a webinar mode. You may be delivering some content, but then perhaps at the end you want to have a more interactive Q&A or even a full-on breakout meeting. Then you can do that by toggling between them during the meeting itself.